wasn't going up on the North Hill. Too close to town, if you want my opinion.
I had a letter from Uncle Brace, and he said that the smog in California is killing all the petunias. Kimberly Joe, if you don't hold still, you'll be nothing but a mass of snogs when that man takes your picture.
Sorry, Grandma. Anna Mary Schmidt got her foot caught in a dog's mouth on her way to Girl Scout meeting Tuesday.
They're such an awkward family, aren't they? Kimberly.
Sorry, Grandma. Jenny and Billy Twain have returned from their visit to her brothers at Wichita Falls.
I've always wondered about Jenny Twain's brother in Wichita Falls.
What's the matter, Billy Joe? Huh?
You have a horde of aphids this year on the roses, Leona.
Well, thanks for the summer seat, Leona. I'm on my way.
You walk on down with you.
You have a blessed garden, Leona. Leona?
Yes. Oh, yes. Kimberly Joe, tell Mrs. Bowers how pleased you are to have had your hair brushed in your gazebo.
I'm pleased to have had my hair brushed in your gazebo, Mrs. Bowers.
My pleasure, Kimberly.
Ta-ta! Till later.
Till later.
Behold the slave, he shall one day be raised up by his own will.
Next week, you get the garden and Billy Joe.
Yeah, but that's next week.
What's the matter, Billy Joe? What happened, girl? It's all right. It's all right. Take it to the house and fix you right up. It's all right.
Stay. Live here?
Yeah,
Name?
Lincoln Case.
Got a complaint?
Complaint?
Mm-hmm. Doing bodily injury to a dog.
What are you talking about?
Mind if we look around?
Injuring a dog? That's crazy.
I'd say so. Mind if we look around?
Yes, I mind.
We can get a search warrant.
Get it.
Look, I don't blame you getting steamed. If a man knock at my door, accuse me of cutting a dog, probably take a shotgun to him. But we get a complaint, we gotta investigate it. Now, where's Mrs. Lindstrom's dog?
I don't know how it happened. She came home, her belly was cut. So I brought her in the house and washed her off. I bandaged the wound. Is that what you call cruelty to animals in this town?
Linc Case. C-A-S-E.
Right.
How long you been in town?
Oh, almost 4 weeks.
How'd you happen to rent this place? You, know Ms. Lindstrom?
No, my buddy and I got a job out at the shell factory.
On Highway 41?
That's right. We came into town looking for a place to live. No chance. You know, Florida in season. And we saw Mrs. Lindstrom's ad in the paper. Responsible party wanted to care for dog and garden. Reasonable rent. That's it. So we hustled over here and made the deal on the spot. Next day, Mrs. Lindstrom took off for Sweden, and we've got the place till she gets back.
I'll be in the car.
Then what? Where you go next?
From Florida? North or west, not much choice.
Sam.
Hey! Make a move. Just make one move.
Sam!
Okay, okay. Put your hands up there.
Hey, honey. Hey, baby. Hey. Honey. Hey, how are you? Hi. How are you? What are you doing here?
Walt, will you get your long nose out of my report book?
That little doxy I saw out in the car? Oh, come on. Come on, I've had it to here with the baiting clubs.
He ripped his belly open with a pair of pruning shears. Charlotte County Sheriff Department? No, you need the Fish and Game Department for that. You're welcome.
Where's he from?
Lander, Texas.
Well, why don't you put a call through to Lander, Texas?
I'm the investigating officer.
One call. Take you about 2 minutes to get a rundown on him for me.
No.
Carl, old buddy. I got a hunch I'm due.
No.
The wire service now pays by the line. Pictures extra. Now this one's got all the makings. Could be worth a lot of lines. Linc Case, Lander, Texas. one call, I'd be most grateful.
Land Detectives. Sheriff's Office.
Hey, war hero!
You're in my moat.
Some kind of progress, isn't it? Be careful. If I get across your boat, I may knock down your castle door.
Why not ring the bell? I'll answer.
Oh, no. That would ruin the great American male image. I have to prove myself, assume command. Having been summoned to the challenge of... Now, what'd you do that for? That messes me all up.
Do men have to break down doors and climb mountains and try to prove something all the time?
Do you have to build a moat around your castle?
There were no crocodiles in it.
That's Judith Kane. First she's with you, then she's not.
Well, now there's just a whole multitude of pretty, young, uncomplicated Floridian maidens available to you, Mr. Stiles.
You are not yet with me. There are crocodiles in your moat.
A multitude of moteless, crocodileless maidens.
Child player.
Who found a still bloody weapon half hidden in the garden hedge. The hero in the Vietnamese action, Case from Lander, Texas, has been jailed and is awaiting arraignment. The weather report for the beaches calls continuing sunny skies. The high
We haven't spoken 3 words to that woman since we moved in. Why? Why would she do it?
Kafka. You ever read Kafka?
Does he write like this?
Well, there's a touch of that in his work.
You're out there with a dumb smirk on your face, and I haven't caught the humor of this thing yet.
All the jokes are right there in the front page. Look, don't go away. Did you get a hold of the judge yet?
His wife don't know where he is.
What time's he due back?
She couldn't say.
Well, find somebody else to set bail.
Ain't nobody can set bail with Judge Benton.
Well, he's not going to sit in there all day
All
just because...
day.
What kind of a carnival are you running here?
Don't raise your voice to me, mister.
Many times in the afternoon shadows, we think we see things we really don't. Actually, if you were even to talk to my friend, well, you'd understand that he... Well, you'd understand, that's all. I'd appreciate it if you'd try again to recall what you really did see.
You're treating me as if I'm either vicious or senile.
That isn't what I intended.
I resent your coming here like this. My father, he helped pioneer this town. And I grew up in this town, and mine was a respectable family. I married a respectable man, not some drifter who moseyed into town for a bit of summer sun, but a ship's master. He took me with him to Boston, where I had great culture at my fingertips. He was a fine man, Leland Bowers, and ours was a short but beautiful marriage. He died a hero on his own ship. And I returned here to my home, and I've been here ever since, and I've been respected ever since. And in all my years, I have never sent for the police. Not more than 5 hours ago, I stood in my garden and watched your friend take his pruning shears and drive them into the stomach of a small, defenseless dog. I saw it by the light of day, with no interference from noontime shadows. So I deeply resent your attempt to put shadows into my story, and into my character, and into my personal reputation. Good day, Mr. Stiles.
I've been telling you for an hour that my boss is the best lawyer in town.
Let's go.
We're in luck. His car's still here. Wait a minute.
Before you hit town, I used to be able to have my secretary work on Saturday afternoons, once in a while.
This is a call for help, Parker.
All right, scream.
This is Todd Stiles.
I know his name.
Parker's the best lawyer in Charlotte County. He wins them all.
Yeah. Yeah, I win them all.
I want to get him out.
Pay the $2.
There's no bail listed on the charge and no judge to set one.
Paper says you and your friend are drifters, passing through.
Yeah, we came for the fun and the sun.
You bring any money? Look, that sign over my door don't read Samaritan, philanthropist, or even nice guy. You got any money?
Some.
How much?
Enough to pay a fee, if it's fair.
Hello, Rita, honey. Get me Judge Benton, will you? Yeah, I read about it. Absolutely. Terrible thing. Oh, look, honey, I'm kind of rushed. Will you get the judge for me, please? From now on, we keep our mouths taped, you understand? And you tell that to your buddy, too. If you want to knock this little town, you go into a little room and knock it in private. This is one of them sensitive little American villages didn't count on the tourist trade when it's settled by these shores. So the best thing is don't disturb it. Sensitive objects got to be moved with care or they explode. Yeah, I'm holding, honey. Now, you and Case meet me here tomorrow at, let me see, I'm going fishing in the morning with Bob Maxwell. He's the county prosecutor. Be here at 4 sharp. It'll give me time to nose around a little and... Hello, Bess. This is Parker. Oh, fine, fine, thank you. Say, Bess, if it wouldn't be too much trouble, I'd appreciate talking to Harold for just a minute. Thank you, I'll wait. Now, whatever you do, you stay away from Mrs. Leland Bowers. Don't go near her. Don't talk to her. Thanks. Hello, Hal. We're off.
I'll bet you need a new prescription today. The whole town needs one today. I'm awfully sorry, Mrs. Bowers.
Hand lotion, Mr. Della Riva. Butterfly tinge, please.
Yes.
I phoned my brother-in-law in Gulfport first thing. He said he'd come and talk to our city council if we wanted him to. Same thing happened down there, and he could
A very sick, angry, and horrible man has done a terrible thing in our town. I'm sorry I had to be the one to see it. And I would appreciate it if you would all allow me the comfort of not having to recall what I saw. Put it on my account, please, Mr. Della Riva.
Hey, war hero!
The man said no comment, remember?
Okay, no comment.
What happened?
Lawyers like to talk.
You might not like to hear what I have to say.
Are we paying for that? All right, what is it, Mr. Smith?
You've been to a lot of towns, haven't you? You want to keep right on driving, don't you?
Let's get it out of here.
Wait a minute. Yeah, we'd like to go right on driving.
Well, then I'll tell you the facts and how they add up. Fact, eyewitness. Fact, corroborating physical evidence, the slashed body of a dog named Billy Joe. Fact, 1 pair of pruning shears with dog's blood on the blade. Fact, the testimony of Dr. Joe Gannon, county veterinarian. You want to hear it? I'll tell it to you just like he gave it to me. Now I'll go on the phone. The wound was a 4-inch cut made by a sharp metal instrument. Couldn't it have been made by some other means? Perhaps by some other animal? No, sir. I've been county vet for 30 years, and that wound was made by a sharp metal instrument.
So what?
Fact. Leona Bowers on the witness stand, telling the same story, word for word, detail for detail, just like she told it when she first reported it over the telephone, just like she told it to Sheriff Winfield, just like she told it to the county prosecutor, and just like she told it to me.
Do you believe her?
Fact. This town and all the people in it, and the way they feel about Leona Bowers, and the way they feel about strangers, and the things they think they know about war heroes, because of what they read in those little magazines, how they come home and can go crazy right in the middle of a rose garden, maybe because the sun's just a little too hot.
All right, now, just a minute, Mr. Smith.
Let me finish. Don't you understand that you are very large in the Sunday edition, and that the local radio station is having a direct-from-the-scene ball? And right now, any jury we impaneled from the brainwashed citizens of this county could hand you the death sentence if the law let them.
Go on, Parker.
I know all about heroes, Mr. Case.
You don't know beans about heroes.
Don't I? Wood, gentlemen. 100% steel reinforced wood. Don't tell me I don't know anything about heroes. When I came limping home, people who wouldn't give me the time of day couldn't do enough for me. They gave me a soft job, sent me back to school and paid my way. And then one day I hung a shingle out above my door, and I had a profitable law practice going. They love me in this town. Everybody loves a hero, didn't you know that? Why, I'll have the whole county sobbing for Lincoln Case. They'll forgive you anything, even cutting up a dog. Plead guilty. Believe me, that's the only chance you got.
Let's get out of here.
I'm telling you, you got a gimmick. Use it.
Now, what that sign in front ought to say, Parker Smith, gimmick.
You don't know anything about heroes, Parker.
I'm tired of waiting for you to grow up, find out what it's all about. Tired of waiting for you to discover that a man don't have to water ski or do the cha-cha-cha.
All that pity for yourself, it makes me sick. You're afraid to stand up for what you believe in this town, aren't you? You're afraid that they'll pry that heroes plaque off the city hall and then you won't have any place to go. Or is that just too much heroism to ask of you?
Afternoon.
Oh, the Bible's right there. You get angry, you get hot. And the harder you get, the angrier you get. If you knock on a man's door and you're angry and hot, well, he's apt not to buy.
Well, I'm not a salesman.
You're the friend, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right.
I used to do a lot of traveling when I was a boy. Of course, I didn't go as far and as fast as they can nowadays. But I learned a lot. And you know what I remember the best?
No.
Fried chicken, Maryland style. Was you ever in Maryland?
Yeah.
Did you taste that fried chicken?
Probably.
That's the best fried chicken I ever tasted. You know, and the nicest thing about that is there's better fried chicken someplace else. But I don't know where, but it's there. And I always look for it, too. Oh, yes, I looked for a lot of things when I was a boy. Better things. A man once said, I don't remember his name now, but he was a preacher somewhere. He said the world has never had enough eggs and poultry any more than it's had enough fine horses or kindness or justice. As we get better men, then we have to have better horses. More people, better things. More problems, more answers. But we have to keep looking.
Saturday morning, Mr.
Bell.
Saturday morning, Mr. Bell, were you sitting out here on the porch?
Oh, yes, I'm out there every morning, in and out.
Well, did you see anything unusual at all?
No, nothing unusual Saturday morning.
Well, thanks for the water.
Lots of good people in this town, boy.
If you say so.
Yeah, but like everything else, you gotta look for them.
Hi.
Hi.
Where's Todd?
I don't know. Why?
Doesn't matter. He wanted to see you anyway.
Who?
Parker. He just called from the airport. He just flew into Fort Myers, and he's chartering a plane from there and flying here. He wants us to meet him.
He's off the payroll, remember?
Well, forget the payroll. He's learned something that'll help. Will you move those long Texas legs of yours? Please, he's waiting for us.
Now, Mrs. Bowers, not to belabor the point, but just to get it absolutely clear, you looked up from tending your flowers about 10 o'clock in the morning, you said, a clear day, and not 50 feet from you, you saw a man cut a dog with a pair of pruning shears?
That is correct.
Is that man in this room?
He is.
Will you point him out to the court?
There.
You're certain?
I'm sorry, but I'm certain.
The prosecution rests, Your Honor.
Your Honor, with your permission, may this witness remain sworn and have a seat with the prosecutor. Before I cross-examine, I want Mrs. Bowers to have the opportunity of hearing the testimony of the two witnesses for the defense.
Would you please step down, Mrs. Bowers?
I know it's irregular, but I ask the court's permission to have both witnesses for the defense testify together.
Will the prosecutor please step up to the bench? Now, will you repeat what you just told me?
My two witnesses are 6 years old, and they've asked to testify together. They've indicated their preference to hold hands so they won't be so nervous. I think it'll be helpful to the court if you allow it.
No objections.
All right, Parker.
Rachel, Carol. What are your names, please?
Rachel Marson. Carla.
Rachel, do you know what the word truth means?
Yes, sir.
Carol?
Yes, sir.
Now, do you promise the judge and me and everybody to tell only the truth? Say it aloud, please.
Yes, sir.
Now, you know the Saturday morning we're talking about. Tell us what happened.
We were playing. Billy Joe came yapping by. She always yaps. Thomas was laying in the sun.
Who is Thomas?
My cat.
And what happened then?
Thomas was playing with a ladybug. Billy Joe came yapping by, and she yapped right onto the lawn. Thomas got mad and ran after her. I was on pigs in the pen, and she ruined it.
You were playing jacks?
I win. You did not. You promised to tell only the truth. You win. You can't do pigs in a pen.
Now, what happened after Thomas chased Billy Joe?
Billy Joe ran into our garden. Thomas slapped at her. Billy Joe jumped up. Then she did it.
Did what?
Tried to jump through it.
Through what?
The wire fence. There's a hole in it.
Go on. Either of you.
Billy Joe scratched herself on the sharp wires. She cried awful. I didn't know what to do.
Well, what did Billy Joe do?
He ran home crying.
Did you and Rachel look at the fence where Billy Joe got caught?
It was blood on it, and we looked at it. I touched it. Cal's scared to touch it.
You're sure it was blood?
It looked just like mine.
Thank you, girls. Your witnesses.
No questions.
You've been very fine witnesses. You can get down now.
Mrs. Bowers, will you return to the stand, please? Mrs. Bowers, sometimes the eye can play tricks.
I saw what I saw.
Then on the basis of the testimony you just heard, you have no intention of...
I have no intention, Mr. Smith.
I believe you, Mrs. Bowers. That is, I believe you are not lying, not consciously.
Objection, Your Honor. The defense is impugning the integrity of the witness.
Sustained. Strike the remark.
Mrs. Bowers, your husband, Leland Bowers, was a shipmaster, was he not?
Yes.
He worked for the Johnson Line, did he not?
Yes.
4 years after your marriage, Leland Bowers was lost at sea, is that correct?
A hero.
Mrs. Bowers, I visited the city of Boston last week on my client's behalf. I went to the main office of the Johnson Line. I visited the police and the dead files of the Boston Globe. Would you care to tell the court the truth about your marriage with Leland Bowers?
I object, Your Honor. This line of questioning seems to have no relation to the case.
Your Honor, if you will allow me to proceed, I will show that this question has a direct relation to the case and to establishing the innocence of my client.
Overruled. Proceed.
Mrs. Bowers, if you don't tell this court, I will.
When I met Leland Bowers, he looked at me in a way I had never known before. And I loved him very much during our courtship. But after we moved away to Boston, it was all very different. And I never knew why. He drank a great deal, and sometimes he didn't come home for as much as 2 or 3 weeks. Then, when he did, he was brutal. And yet I couldn't leave him and come back here. I was too ashamed. He was vicious and sadistic, and he had no friends. And he died in a knife fight on the Boston docks. And I came home a grieving widow. But in the secret depths of my heart, I rejoiced. His death was the happiest moment of my life. Does that satisfy you, Parker?
Mrs. Bowers, is this a photograph of your late husband? Mrs. Bowers?
Yes.
Mrs. Bowers, look at the defendant. Doesn't Lincoln case bear an amazing resemblance to your dead husband? You heard a dog yelp with pain from behind your summer house. You saw Billy Joe with her belly torn by that wire fence. The man who looks like your husband had a pair of pruning shears in his hand. Cut the dog. Isn't that what your husband might have done?
Yes. The same face. The innocent face. Tending so gently to the flowers. And then turning on the dog and slashing its belly.
Haven't all of you your privacies, the truths that are yours? And because they belong to you, you can stand with some kind of pride. Now you know my ugliness.
Thank you, Leona. We're going now. Mrs. Lindstrom's daughter's going to look after the house and Billy Joe. I mean, it just didn't seem right that we should stay around any longer. And it comes to me that it's easy for us to go and not too easy for you to stay. So, well, I just wanted to say that I'm sorry about bringing back the bad part of your life and that it had to come out the way that it did.
This has been a Screen Gems film presentation. Herbert B. Leonard, executive producer.